I don't know what you call her. She says she's a victim.
The woman in the video with Kevin Hart. That we can say. Definitely.
She has now come forward with her lawyer, Lisa Bloom, and she has now addressed the extortion issue, because remember that there is an extortion tape out there. They wanted 7 figures from Kevin Hart in order to keep the sex tape private. So she has now said squarely, I am not the extortionist. I, too, am a victim. She came out strong with Lisa Bloom. Here's what it looked like this morning.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Montia Sabag. I was involved with Kevin Hart a month ago. Since then, my pictures and my name have been released with lies written about me. I am not an extortionist. I'm not a stripper. I'm a recording artist and an actress, and I have not broken any laws. I had nothing to do with these recordings. I hired Lisa Bloom to protect my rights. I'm truly sorry for any involvement that I had in this.
Now, she says that she is going to go to the police department with Lisa Bloom, and she is going to tell them who she believes, doesn't know, but believes might have been the extortionist. Now,
which will be interesting because she's going to sit down and talk to police. We know that Kevin Hart has had several conversations already with police about all of the people that I presume that he saw around them that weekend.
And look, here, truth be told, Kevin's people are not so sure about her saying that she's telling the truth when she says, I'm a victim in this too. So they don't know, but they have their doubts because she was the one, and she acknowledges this, by the way. She was intimate with Kevin Hart during that weekend. This is the weekend of August 19th. We put these pictures up on the website this morning of the two of them at Marquee Nightclub at the Cosmopolitan, which show them certainly very cozy in the club. And this is Saturday night.
It's safe to say they weren't acting like strangers there. You see his hand was close to her foot. Obviously, it's loud in a club, but they're very close talking. And at one point, it almost looks like she's straddling him. He's so close to her.
And so she is, was with him the whole weekend. We know that. We've reported that. She acknowledges in this news conference that she was intimate with Kevin Hart. So it looks like we can now say this essentially is a sex tape in the sense that she's acknowledging that's her, that's him.
It's her in the tape, and she's acknowledging that someone did record it. But she's claiming she has no idea who did.
So, there are a lot of questions here. How did they meet? Did she have contact with Kevin Hart? One of the things that I'm interested in is Lisa Bloom saying that she never demanded money from Kevin Hart because our information is her prior lawyer asked for about $420,000 in order for her to take a lie detector test and ask Kevin to pay it. So there are a lot of questions. Charles literally had to run right now just for a couple of minutes. So he will be back. But in the meantime, let's bring Lisa Bloom in to ask some of these follow-up questions. Lisa, welcome to TMZ Live.
Hi, Harvey. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So can you tell me if your client has any idea? She says it is not her. She is not the extortionist. Does she have any idea who is?
We do have an idea who it might be, but it's only a suspicion, so I'm not going to name any names without proof. But we are going to go to law enforcement and give them all of the information we have and the people that we think are suspicious here, and we're going to hope that they will follow up.
We have done a lot of stories on this already, Lisa, and we know that your client and Kevin Hart were partying that weekend, the weekend of August 19th, in Vegas, and there were other people around them during the weekend. I'm assuming that the people around them would be the ones that you're suspecting?
Well, I'm not going to identify anyone. We're going to give that information to law enforcement. I think certainly anybody who was in the room that weekend should be interviewed by law enforcement. And they should also ask for the hotel security recordings of who went in and out of that room. It should not be that difficult to apprehend this perpetrator.
And did she know anything about this before this went public a few days ago? Did she have any sense that this was going on, where somebody was trying to extort Kevin?
She did, because Kevin's lawyer contacted her and, asked her if she was the person. She vehemently denied it. She was nervous now going up against a celebrity and his lawyer. And so she got her own lawyer and they had some discussions back and forth. She ultimately turned down an offer to take a lie detector test for money. This is not about money. I personally don't believe in lie detector tests anyway. They're not scientifically valid. They're not accepted in courts. So that's ultimately going nowhere.
You mentioned the lie detector. we are told, and at least I'm pretty confident of this information, not involving you, but the prior lawyer was the one who actually asked Kevin's people for money, for hundreds of thousands of dollars, in order to take the lie detector test.
Well, that is not the information that I have. I have spoken to her prior lawyer, and the information that I have is that offer was made to her, and ultimately no deal was reached on that. And she was also offered money for other things, which was declined.
You know, I know this was not you, but you might want to do more checking on what the prior lawyer may have asked Kevin's people, because the way it's being put to me is it's different from that. It was that he's the one that initiated it.
So, well, the initial call came from Kevin's lawyer to Montia. She did not start out getting a lawyer to contact Kevin Hart, and that's an important piece of information that's been lost in this.
There are different parts to this video. Have you seen the video yet, the full video?
I have not seen the full video. I've only seen what's available online. Montia doesn't have it, but what we've seen online are clips of different images and different videos, and it's very disturbing because it shows her in that hotel room.
Well, that's the question, that there are two scenes in the hotel room. One, a bed where you can't really make out who the people are, and then a second seems to be the aftermath where you see two people in various stages of undress who do look like Montia and Kevin. Is she acknowledging that the people in that bedroom, both on the bed and walking around, are her and Kevin?
She believes that it is her and Kevin, yes.
Has he reached out to her at all since any of this happened?
Personally, you mean, as opposed to through lawyers? I don't think so. I don't know. I don't think so. He may have reached out to her once to ask her if she was the extortionist, and she said absolutely not, and that was the end of it.
How did he end up getting in touch with her? Because I thought this was just a weekend thing that came and went.
They have each other's phone numbers.
And how did they meet?
They met on the way to Las Vegas, and that's all I can tell you.
So was it on an airplane? Was it?
They met on the way to Las Vegas, but the reason why I'm trying to avoid the details, because we're going to give all of that to law enforcement, but the reason why I'm telling you that is because she didn't even know that she was going to be meeting Kevin Hart. So if she had some master plan to be an extortionist and was going to bring all these different, there's at least a couple of cameras because there's several different camera angles, you know, she didn't even know she was going to be meeting him. She met him. They had a brief intimate relationship for several days. The only device that she had with her was an iPhone, and the iPhone is depicted in some of the pictures. So it's clear that it was not her.
So you're saying that her iPhone clearly wasn't used to record it because you see her iPhone in some of the images?
That's correct, yes.
So when you go to police, presumably what she's going to do is download them on her recollection of who was around them, who she thinks might have done it, who had access to the room. If it's somebody who had access to the room, it would have been somebody in Kevin's camp, wouldn't it?
Well, you know, there could be hotel staff. There could be, yes, Kevin's friends, could be Montia's friends. I mean, we're going to go over all of that, yes.
Okay, and then finally, and I don't think this particularly matters, but it's kind of been reported this way, that she was very clear in your news conference today that she is a recording artist, she is an actress, she is a model, and she said, I am not a stripper. It seems like she was a stripper, and I just want to make sure in terms of...
Why does it seem that way? She's not a stripper.
And has not been one.
And she's not a stripper now, and I don't think she has ever been one. That's correct.
So the next step, going to the police department, and she is going to talk freely?
Absolutely, yes. We will go with her. We will assist. You know, sometimes the police want follow-up. I'm here to assist with all of that.
And your plan is not to go beyond that, at least right now, that it's mainly to go in there and facilitate her cooperating with authorities?
Yes, I think, you know, she is a crime victim here, and she is doing what I encourage all crime victims to do, which is go to the police, report the information, cooperate with them, work with them to catch who did this. This is a very serious crime. In fact, it's a series of crimes. Somebody had to plant a camera in the room. They had to record the images. They had to disseminate the images, and they had to go to Kevin Hart, which has been reported, and ask for money. Those are 4 separate felonies that I can think of off the top of my head. This is very, very serious. And other than the extortion part, she has been a victim of all of this, just like Mr. Hart has been.
Okay, Lisa, we're out of time. Just one more thing. Happy birthday.
Thank you, Harvey. You're a sweetheart. Have a great day.
And you too. Lisa, thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Make sure to subscribe to TMZ Live to keep up to date on the latest entertainment news.
And if you want to keep watching, click on one of these videos right now.